did have everything, didn't we? I mean, when you think about it.
What difference at this point does it make?
Politico and New York Times propped up by millions of dollars from the U.S. government. Well, would you look at that? On Tuesday, staffers at Politico were notified that a technical error prevented their paychecks from going out. Would you look at that? Wow, Politico going bankrupt? Journos crying and seething? Guy can only get so excited. Staff at Politico did not get paid for the latest pay period. Company just sent several emails to employees saying that this is a technical issue. Don't you worry, we're going to fix it. We promise. But if you go ahead and look a little deeper into what's been happening at Politico, you'll find, according to usaspending.gov, a government website that tracks such things, that Politico has been paid millions of dollars, potentially tens of millions of dollars, depending on how you do the math. Politico received up to $27 million, by some counts $32 million, from various U.S. agencies during the Biden years. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. Let's go ahead and look here exactly. What are these, what exactly are these payments? Oh, wow. Hundreds of thousands of dollars from various recipients all throughout the federal government, from various payees all throughout the federal government, Politico being the recipient. I found 27, let's go down to the last one, please. Right here, yeah. Let's go to that chart, there you go. Here's $27 million being paid to Politico. Would you look at that? Why would Politico be the recipient of so much federal money? And now they can't pay their staff as soon as Elon Musk ends USAID. I posted this on X right before the show. This is the biggest scandal in news media history. No employee at Politico got paid. First time the company's ever missed payroll. Now we learn that Politico, a news company, which spent the last 10 years trying to destroy the MAGA movement, being massively funded by USAID, among many other government organs. But this, I think, is very instructive. Let's go ahead and zip on down to the graph here. Klein. The graph attached to the tweet, thank you. There it is, yeah, please. You'll notice that over the last 2 decades, Politico didn't really take much government money. A de minimis amount, just little pittances here and there, just little tin pot, coins in the jar, right? But then something incredible happened in the year 2019 to 2020. Politico suddenly started getting hundreds of thousands and then millions of dollars from the federal government. What's that about exactly? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just did a little research of our own. We were able to find something very special that happened between the years 2019 and 2020 when President Trump was running for re-election. Politico was the outlet that decided to launder the deep state fake news about Hunter Biden's laptop. An important note here that the FBI has not only admitted that the laptop was totally real, they've used it in criminal proceedings against the Bidens. Everybody knew who signed this letter that this laptop was real, but they needed an outlet to carry their bullshit story. Sorry for the cursing. This story is fake. It's not real. But it had a real intended consequence, which was, and as we know, and ALX knows personally, you got to censor anybody who talked about the laptop. Our account got censored. We got tweets ripped down, posts ripped down about it. Reporters had to grovel for mercy. As soon as this article got published, and ALX, I don't know if you can find the I don't know if you can find the John Brennan email. I think that'd be amazing to put up right now. There's this John Brennan email, I think between Michael Hayden and John Brennan, where they straight up say that this article was published in order to elect Joe Biden. They know it's fake. There's a flaming literal receipt where John Brennan in writing is saying, "Oh yeah, add my name to it." And they're saying we're doing this in order to elect Joe Biden, to give him something to use at the debate against Trump when he brings this up. This true thing that we all know is true because we've all Googled the laptop ourselves. There it is. Here's the actual literal evidence right here. Let me read it to you in part, ladies and gentlemen. John Brennan is writing Michael Morell, who is the former CIA director, saying, "Can I add your name to the list? We'll be adding Leon Panetta, Sue Gordon, Jed Johnson, Lisa Monaco, pretty much an entire list of deep state criminals who deserve to be in Guantanamo Bay. Also working with blah 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 other people. Lots of intelligent community career folks trying to get, look at the last line, trying to give the campaign, particularly during this debate on Thursday, talking points to punch back at Trump over the laptop." There's the freaking evidence right here that they knew this was garbage, they knew it was fake, and who did they go to? They went to Politico, little urchins at Politico. And Politico dutifully wrote it up. This article was everywhere, was used to damn near take down our entire show. All of our tweets came down. Twitter took all of our tweets down about this. This timeline was crazy. ALX knows. He was around for this. So was producer Danny. All of our posts came down. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, suddenly all set. You couldn't talk about Hunter Biden laptop at all. This was a weapon that was launched through Politico, and Politico got paid back for it. And you can now see. You can see the receipts. And now Politico's going out of business. Now they've cut off the Fed gravy train. The reason why this is important, and while this might be a de minimis amount that's spent because USAID squanders billions, but what this proves is that the federal government's paying for fake news propaganda to disorient, disrupt, to lie to you, to rig elections, which is what this was. And you can see here that the huge water spigot, the fire hydrant of federal funds, corrupt federal funds, just was opened wide as soon as they did the deep state's bidding. And now look at what happens in 2025, crashing down to earth, and Politico can't pay their salaries. Oh. No tears from me, ladies and gentlemen. USAID, you'll be happy to know, is funding a lot of different news companies. Was. Here you go. USAID funding the New York Times, right here. The New York Times, $3.1 million. Politico, $32 million. The BBC, oh my. The BBC was getting, this is British corporate, this is British government TV, okay? So the BBC, they're just like out with it. They're like, no, this is government TV, right? You're forced to consume government propaganda. USAID was funding government propaganda. There's one other exciting and really funny tie-in here about the Brits. Somebody who is now living in Great Britain, much like you retreat, right? You like when everything is collapsing, you retreat into your your last bastion. In the UK, there is like a true censorship regime. It's like the last place that it exists, like the last little nexus that they have of like the censorship epicenter and epoch is there inside of the United Kingdom, inside of this corrupted, rotted, old world. America is going to have to go save and liberate Great Britain. Isn't that an amazing irony? After 250 years, our sesquicentennial will be in like a year. So after 250 years of existence, it'll be America that will go and save and liberate the United Kingdom and England. Isn't that something else? England is a fallen country. It doesn't really, frankly, exist anymore. And Nina Jankowicz, the urchin who was being paid by our federal government to create a censorship industrial complex inside of the Department of Homeland Security here. Somebody known as Censorship Mary Poppins, because she actually sang a Mary Poppins tune. I'll play it for you in a moment. Sorry, I do love you, okay? Shout out to the chat. I do love you. I'm so sorry I have to do this to you. I'm giving you fair warning to mute your devices, maybe, okay? Or if you're just into this kind of stuff, if you're into abuse, well, get ready for Censorship Mary Poppins. Nina Jankowicz, you might recall, is an individual who was tasked with creating and spawning a censorship industrial complex here in America. Now, this show and many others called her out and went on the offensive and got her fired, okay? We created enough problems for her that she was fired and they shut down. What was it called? Government Accountability Center or something like that, right? Well, she then crawled on her belly, little reptile, over to start something else. A new little center. Do we have, Alex, you have the new center? I know that Mark Andreessen's, oh, there it is. Okay, we have it right there. Here we go. New disinformation project in London. Would you look at that? Called the Center for Information Resilience. Are you funded by any governments? Yes, we receive grants from USAID and the State Department. These people, they're literal cockroaches. Well, they've been crushed now by Elon Musk. Elon Musk has flipped on the lights in the kitchen and has stomped them all. He's wearing Doc Martens, the really big kind, and he's going on a cockroach stomping festival. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nina Jankowicz's new scam to try and keep the censorship industrial complex alive. Just got the entire plug pulled on it. Politico in flames, New York Times, BBC, the Centre for Information Resilience. What the fuck? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Oh, we're here to fight disinformation. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what that means. This means it's a flip that can be switched by our CIA to censor you and me and anybody that they find inconvenient. And they use these little centers that they fund to do it. They create little reports on how evil and mean we all are. How mean the chat is right now. Oh, wow. They said something mean. You better eliminate their channels entirely. That's what this is all about. And Elon Musk just crushed them. And Trump. Ooh. Let me tell you what. Mary Poppins is singing her sad song tonight. Here's what she was sounding like just a year or two ago before we destroyed her career.
Laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain. They're laundering disinfo and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
Enough. Okay. And they called J.D. Vance weird. We've said for a long time that what the modern day Democrat Party is a bunch of eunuch theater kids who are living out their dreams of punishing the jocks. Punishing the kids who shoved them into lockers in high school, who gave them wedgies, who made fun of them, the successful people who built things like Trump, or who were really smart and good at life, like Elon. Elon's just good at life. Okay, sure, he's on the spectrum. That's what makes him good at it. These kids aren't on the spectrum, nor are they good at anything. So they live inside these fake little theater kid worlds because they can't stand reality, which is created by alphas, and people who build things and create things, add value to society, they add zero value. They are net negative value creators. And then they do this. What they've done over the past 40 years in this country is they have stolen the creations and the value of this nation. They've weaponized it against the productive class, us, you and me, who actually do things. And then they sing little songs like this to mock us, censor us, and rip us offline when we say things they don't like. Much like, if given the opportunity, these sadistic little theater kids, if they could punch a button and cause pain to all the jocks in school, they would. Do you not think that these little theater kids are getting bullied? Do you not think that if they could push a button and close the mouth of every kid they don't like in school, they would? Little censorious little bastards. Do you not think they would do that? They would. Of course they would do that. That's what this is all about. It's funny, the more you live it, the more you realize the kind of the tropes and the iconography of high school, the verticals of high school just kind of play out in the real world. All right, the nerds are nerds, but they're doing things. And the jocks are jocks. Okay, they're kind of like Trump. Okay, Trump was a jock. Trump was an athlete in high school, baseball, wrestling, football, and the theater kids are deeply creepy, and they have they harbor darkness in their hearts, and they have mendacity there. Nothing against theater kids. Whatever. Take. Nothing gets the. It's I'm just saying I'm just saying the verticals play out. All right, that's all. And you don't want to give the theater kids power, godlike powers over everyone. It'll end terribly for all of us. And that's what's happened with our federal government. Taking the freaks, the losers, the real lunatics, the mentally unstable people who have to live in a fake world. You've given them all this power over the rest of us. And you're seeing the dying gasps of all of that. This is what you see. This is what you see in this is what you see in Chuck Schumer, right? We will win. This is what you see. Oh man, the meltdowns have been just freaking delicious. Here's the notice, ladies and gentlemen, from USAID. They've turned back on USAID. And I don't know if we can go to. Can we go to the URL? Here's what it is. They turned back on USAID. Good news. Okay, good news, theater kids. All USAID.gov is back. Bad news. You're fired. On Friday, February 7th, 2025, at 11:59 p.m., all USAID direct hire personnel will be placed on administrative leave globally, with the exception of designated personnel responsible for mission-critical functions, core leadership, and specifically designated program. Essential personnel expected to continue working will be informed by the agency leadership on Thursday. For USAID personnel currently posted outside of the United States, the agency is coordinating with missions, and the Department of State currently preparing to plan in accordance with applicable requirements and laws. Under agency would arrange to pay for the return to travel to the United States within 30 days and provide a termination of your contract. So they're bringing back everyone who's abroad, right? And then they're firing them all. Oh, they're losing their minds. Oh, they're all losing their minds. So many libs spawned out of this. Liz Cheney spawned out of USAID. AOC spawned out of USAID. Mika Brzezinski losing her mind. ALX, is this a salty lib? Is this big enough for a salty lib? Should we salt the lib here with Mika? How long is it? No? Okay, all right. ALX says no. Wait for the real salty ones. Okay, here we go. Morning Joe, salt in their coffee.
Official memo says nearly the entire global workforce of USAID will be placed on administrative leave by Friday. The online posting says there would be exceptions for people responsible for mission-critical functions. This comes after the agency's acting chief human capital officer was pushed out for refusing to place employees on leave yesterday. So the memo came from Pete Morocco, who Secretary of State Marco Rubio empowered to review the work done by USAID. Morocco held several national security positions during the first Trump administration, including at the agency, but multiple sources tell NBC News he was ultimately pushed out of office. Online sleuths have also identified Morocco as being among the rioters who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Legal experts say the president does not have authority to abolish a federal agency created by Congress. But in a letter to lawmakers, Secretary Rubio cited a law requiring the executive branch notify and consult with Congress on any proposed reorganization, which could signal a potential loophole.
The panic and the freak out is real. The panic and the freak out, of course, is happening because all these lib media outlets were funded by USAID. They're losing their gravy train. They're losing their federal dollars. Watch out. Get ready. How many media outlets will go bankrupt? Watch this space in the next 30 days. You'll be able to tell which media outlets were fed propaganda psyop outlets. The ones that go bankrupt were the ones who were on the take, who were getting paid for fake news by the federal government through USAID and other nefarious programs. All right, such an exciting time to be alive. Everything from the FBI to the CIA getting absolutely obliterated. CIA was sent resignation letters by Trump, every single employee at the CIA. And Elon Musk has stormed into the FBI, causing great fear and consternation. Ladies and gentlemen, we just played you a clip from Morning Joe. Certainly in our cup every single morning is our blackout coffee. Oh man, to cover all this news cycle, you've got to have your caffeine pouring through your bloodstream. We have been up late at night and early in the morning just trying to keep up. And apparently this pace is going to continue for all 4 years. J.D. Vance told reporters yesterday that Donald Trump asks, how many more days do I have in office? He's 2 weeks in. He keeps asking, like, wait, how many more days do we have? This pace will continue for 4 straight years. Get ready, libs, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, libs may not drink blackout coffee, but I certainly do. Blackout coffee is what powers me on this program. We have a little extra pep in our step this morning. I'm drinking drink my whole pot. I do typically go through a pot. It's so good. It is good, ladies and gentlemen. But you're also funding an American company, a patriotic company, a company that doesn't have to raise its prices because of what's happening in Colombia or Panama or whatever. A company that loves this nation, supports first responders and our military veterans. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Benny and use the coupon code Benny for 20% off your first order. Taste the coffee that doesn't just wake you up, it fires you up. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Benny. Let's freaking go. Let's go, baby. CIA buyouts. See, every single member of the CIA was offered a get-out-of-jail-free card. Take the money and run yesterday by Donald Trump. How exciting this moment is. Like, this really is President Trump, like, going up in the prison yard and punching the meanest, scariest prisoner in the face, blooding his nose, and saying, you're mine now. Let's go.
Fox News alert, the Wall Street Journal is reporting the CIA has reportedly just offered a buyout to its entire workforce. Everyone in the agencies telling employees late today they can quit their jobs and receive about 8 months of pay and benefits. It's a part of Trump's push to downsize the federal government. More as we get it.
In case you're wondering what news cycle you should be happy about, just go ahead and check in on CNN. What are they crying over on CNN? CNN is losing their loving damned minds on the CIA buyouts happening right now. Here we go.
Is Donald Trump about to put all of America's spies out of work? A CIA spokesperson and sources familiar telling CNN tonight that the agency's entire workforce received buyout offers today. How does this work?
This is exactly what Project 2025 said. Oh no,
They
not
said-
the Project 2025 talking
As much
point.
as we talked about on all these shows for months that Donald Trump said he knew nothing about Project 2025 and he didn't adhere to it, and even though everyone that drew it up worked for him, this is exactly, I went back and looked at Project 2025 tonight. Eliminate up to 1 million federal jobs. Cut federal...
We had a tweet that went viral like in the hours after the election. It was like something like, gotcha. 2025, Project 2025 was real. It was real the whole time. Get ready, Lib, right? Get ready to go to Gitmo. And little did we know how right we were. CIA. Intel sources that we spoke with over the last 24 hours told us that the reason why this is happening is because the CIA was the spawn point for so many of the fake hoaxes against President Trump. Everything from Russiagate to what we covered earlier about the Hunter Biden laptop. All of those people were CIA cretins that signed that letter. It all was funneled through former CIA heads. These people are deeply corrupt to their core. The CIA and USAID as it's cut out. USAID doing the dirty work that even the CIA won't do. And they have no presidential oversight at USAID, right? They have no direct report to the president. That's changing. But this is the heart of darkness. The FBI, which has seen enormous numbers of purges and more yesterday, Purge begins as Doge storms FBI to obtain the names of 5,000 agents who worked January 6 cases facing firings. 5,000 agents. We pulled the records. You know, there's only 13,000 FBI agents. So you're talking close to half of all FBI agents slithered, crawled, and begged to go run J6 ops for Joe Biden.